Serious questions have been raised over the feeble role played by the country's only anti-graft body, CIAA, due to its inability to punish high-ranking government officials. When we have precedents from around the world where the top executives of the countries have been nabbed by their respective anti-corruption bodies, the anti-graft body in Nepal has remained a silent spectator, allowing the perpetrators to run scot-free. Good morning, I am Prarambha Dahal. Let's begin with the main stories. Anti-graft body CIAA fails to punish senior political leaders despite proven guilty. Perpetrators involved in policy-level corruptions continue to enjoy impunity. People in hill districts of Khotang, Okhaldhunga and Solukhumbu compelled to charter choppers as most road sections under the BP and Mid-Hill Highway remain obstructed due to landslide debris. Officials of Kathmandu metropolis found involved in corruption during the installation of hoarding boards in central Kathmandu. Metropolis found reluctant to punish the guilty officials. And ANFA yet to distribute prizes for last year's Best Player and Coach Awards, even as the preparations are underway for the start of the new season of A-Division Martyrs Memorial League. The Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority, CIAA, has boasted that it became the most successful authority in the country's history during the last fiscal year. Around 350 cases were registered at the Commission last year, the number itself that the Commission has claimed as its success. The country's only corruption watchdog, however, has neither been able to delve deep into policy-level corruptions nor penalize powerful political office bearers despite being proven guilty. Taking precedence from around the world, Pakistan's former Prime Minister Shahid Khaqan Abbasi is currently under arrest at the hands of the country's Corruption Monitoring Authority (NAB). Former Pakistani Prime Minister Asif Ali Zardari and Nawaz Sharif have also served jail sentences on corruption cases. Likewise, the South Korean government took stern action against its President Park Geun-hye after she was convicted of financial irregularities. As many as 30 high-ranking government officials and heads of states around the world have been prosecuted for corruption charges. However, there is no such notable cases in Nepal, the country that has been mired in corruption for a long time, especially by the influential people abusing their authorities. The anti-graft body, however, boasts its success by merely exhibiting the cases of taking action against lower-ranking office bearers, while the main culprits involved in policy-level corruptions and abuse of state coffers continue to enjoy impunity. Many senior political leaders have been found involved in many infamous scandals, including the gold smuggling case, Sudan controversy, and corruption while procurement of the wide-body aircrafts, among others. The cases of blatant abuse of power to fulfill vested interests have also been witnessed at the academic institutions and justice delivery. However, none of the perpetrators have been prosecuted, let alone being punished for their misdeeds. This has clearly exhibited weakness and the feeble presence of the corruption watchdog when it comes to maintaining good governance and economic transparency by controlling both lower and state-level corruptions. Now, at a time when the government has been criticized for the postponement of pesticide tests in fruits and vegetables imported from India, it has made another decision related to the import of food products that has a direct impact on the health of the consumers. The government has amended the provision for import of food products with 75% remaining period for expiry to 60%. On the 17th of June, the government, through a notice in the National Gazette, announced of the provision for import of food products with 75% remaining period for expiry. However, with the provision yet to be fully implemented, another notice was published in the Gazette on the 10th of July, amending the provision which allows food items with 60% expiry remaining to be imported. This means doors have been opened for import of food products with lesser expiry period. Questions are being raised regarding the government decision to allow import of food products with less expiry period. Import of food products with 60% remaining time period for expiry is risky for the health of the consumers. Such items age by the time they reach the consumers. The notice published by the Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Supplies also contrasts with the anti-dumping bill. The bill has provisions against the import of low-quality goods, products nearing the expiry, and import of goods that harm the native industry and businesses. In such a situation, the decision to allow import of goods nearing expiry period could have several negative consequences. Questions have surfaced whether the Ministry of Industries made the decision under some sort of influence of interest groups, as the decision to allow import of goods nearing expiry is against the bill, which is under consideration at the Parliamentary Committee. People have been compelled to charter helicopters to attend emergency works as most road sections under the BP Highway and Mid-Hill Highway have been obstructed because of landslide debris following the heavy rainfall. Choppers have been chartered 3 times a day in the last 9 days in Khotang after the road obstruction. Patients in Khotang, Okhaldunga and Solukhumbu have been using helicopters after the roadways have remained at a complete halt because of flood and landslides. They have been reaching the hospitals through helicopters by paying between 200,000 to 220,000 rupees. Those appearing at the examination of the Public Service Commission have also reached their exam centers by chartering the choppers. They were compelled to go airborne in fear of missing the examination after the roads were obstructed. Roads blocked by landslide debris are yet to be cleared and operate at full capacity. A report prepared by Kathmandu Metropolis has found that the officials of the metropolis have been involved in financial irregularities to allow the illegal installation of hoarding boards. However, the metropolis has been protecting its officials by keeping the report a secret. Kathmandu Metropolis had formed a committee on the 17th of June last year to investigate on the irregularities by its officials in installation of hoarding boards inside Kathmandu. The committee, led by Administration Chief Ganesh Prasad Thapalia, had concluded that the hoarding boards installed at more than 3 dozen locations in Kathmandu Metropolis were against the directive of the Supreme Court and the regulations of the metropolis itself. The committee had concluded that a few officials had decided to allow installation of hoarding boards against the regulation in 45 locations, including Thinkune, New Baneshwar, Maitigar and Thabathali, without keeping record of revenue, and advertisements without any renewal to serve the interest of various businesses on different occasions. On the 22nd of August 2015, the Supreme Court had ordered for removal of such hoarding boards in Kathmandu Valley, citing that such advertisements were hampering the urban beauty and environment. However, the metropolis officials have violated the court order for their vested interest by risking accidents and pollution. Officials found involved by the metropolis are still in influential roles. Instead of taking actions against those found guilty in its own investigation, the Kathmandu metropolis, assigning significant roles to the same officials, raises questions whether the violation is protected by the metropolis leadership itself. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked the flood victims in Sunsari district what were the main problems they've been facing and their expectations from the government. Let us now take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
हामीले स्वच्छ खानेपानी पनि खान पाइरहेछौँ बाटोको समस्या छ अरु चाहिँ के हो बाढीको थोरै तर्पण अलिक व्यवस्थित गर्दै थियो हामीले के राहत मिल्थ्यो
तलसम्म यो डिल थियो अहिले सम्म यहाँ माथिसम्म आइसक्यो हैन त्यसलाई भरसक सरकारले पनि उ गरेर सहयोग गरेर उ गरेर यस्ता बाध्यो गरिदियो भने त्यति भयो भने हामीलाई धेरै सहयोग हुन्थ्यो हाम्रो खोला टेलुमा बसिरहेका छौं त्यसले गर्दाखेरि हामीलाई तटबन्धनको चाहिँ हामीलाई एकदम जरुरत छ
तटबन्धन लगाइदियो भने अझै राम्रो हुन्थ्यो अब त्यति नगर्दा त अब जाबेसम्म यो डिल छ जाबेसम्म बच्छु डिल कट्यो भने त छोडेर जानै पर्छ नि त
It is now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
The question is, what is the reason for the government to allow the import of goods exceeding their 40% of expiry period? Your options are A, influence of businesses, option B is ignoring public health, and the last option is C, which is lack of seriousness. The voting is on. You can type any WS, select your option A, B or C, and then send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. With this, let us move on to the sports news.
Sports news.
The National Football Governing Body, All Nepal Football Association, ANFA, is making preparations for the new season of the domestic league. ANFA, which plans to organize the new season of Martyrs Memorial A-Division League starting the 14th of December this year, is yet to distribute the prizes of the previous season. Despite the announcement to award motorcycles, each in 5 categories, including Player of the Season and Manager, the awards have remained due despite the preparations underway for the start of the new season. The A-Division League was held after almost 5 years following the election of a new ANFA working committee. Manang Marsangdi Club won the previous edition of the league, which concluded on the 8th of December 2018. Winners MMC had pocketed 5 million rupees, with the runners-up Sankhata bagging 3.5 million rupees in cash prize. Best players in 4 categories and the best manager are yet to receive the motorcycles awarded as prizes. Bishal Shrestha of Manang Marsangdi was adjudged the best goalkeeper of the league. Ranjit Dhimal of 3-star was the best defender. Manang Suman Shrestha was the best manager, while Varat Khawas of Tribhuvan Army was declared the best striker. However, players and managers are still waiting for the rewards from the past season. Delayed awards do not have the same impact in inspiring and motivating the players, while not providing the promised awards on time is being disrespectful towards the players and the sport itself. It sounds depressing that players are still waiting for the awards even after 7 months since completion of the previous season of the domestic league. Indian bodybuilder Ravinder Kumar Malik cleans the title of Mr. South Asia as Afghanistan won the team championship, finishing ahead of the hosts Nepal in the 12th South Asian Bodybuilding Championship and Physics Sports Championship. Malik, the winner of men's 80 kg division, was adjudged the best bodybuilder among the winners of various 9 categories. The final day of the 2-day event saw Nepal's Naresh Munikar clinch gold in men's athletic physique. Malika Shakya of Nepal also won the women's model physique. Nepal finished the championship with 3 gold, 7 silver and 6 bronze medals. On Friday, Samir Shrestha had won the gold in men's 65 kg category. Afghanistan secured 6 gold, 4 silver and 5 bronze medals to claim the team championship title. Manchester United have rejected a £53.9 million bid from Inter Milan for striker Romelu Lukaku. The bid falls well below United's valuation of the 26-year-old Belgium international, who joined them from Everton 2 years ago for £75 million. Lukaku sat out Saturday's pre-season victory over Inter Milan, whose manager Antonio Conte reiterated that the striker remains his #1 target. The Inter boss said that he considered Lukaku a player who could improve his team. Conte added that it was not right to speak about the player in this moment, as Lukaku is a Manchester United player, and for this reason Inter must show great respect for the club and at the same time for the player and for his own players as well. Conte admitted he had tried to sign Lukaku while being manager at Chelsea. Inter's move for the Belgian is thought to hinge on the future of Mauro Icardi, who has not travelled on the club's pre-season tour of Asia amid reports he is to leave. When asked about the Argentinian striker, Conte replied the club was very clear that Icardi was out of Inter's project. Lukaku missed both of United's tour matches in Australia because of injury before also sitting out Saturday's match in Singapore. That is all for the moment. Our next English bulletin airs at 11 a.m. Keep watching Kantipur Television SD for more news and entertainment. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day ahead.